Hey guys, how you doing? I decided to do a quick review of the extended subframe bolts that I used for my 2017 WRX. If you can tell, the bottom one is the STI version. The top one is the OEM Subaru one. They use these on the S209. The front two subframe bolts are these extended versions with a lower stopper installed as well. I'll go ahead and put those part numbers in the description. But if you can tell straight off the bat, this bolt is a little bit longer. It's about 35 millimeters longer. I think there isn't really that much extra thread engagement. I think it's more of, when you add stoppers or subframe lockdown kits, the bolt goes down a little bit, so that way you have that extra. You always have the right amount of thread engagement for the subframe. Also, I think having a longer subframe bolt helps with the elongation of the subframe bolt. I think the definitely the wider it is, and I believe the longer it is also, there's less elongation when the bolt is under stress. I'm not sure if that helps when you're clamping it down for tightening, but another thing that I saw was the diameter of the bolt. If you notice, it goes from 14 millimeters to 13 millimeters approximately, and this one, it just stays 14 millimeters all throughout. That definitely helps with the movement of the subframe, as the hole, I suppose, has less, is filled more with the bolt, so there's less movement with the subframe. Although this, I'm sure, helps with the movement of the subframe, but the top area, I think, probably helps with the bolt not moving as much in the subframe, so that definitely helps. There's definitely was a difference when I had this installed in the front too with the lower stopper. I could feel it when I changed lanes. That minuscule correction that you do when you finish changing the lanes to have the car go straight again, it basically was minimized or pretty much disappeared. I could feel the car moving as one piece when I did a quick lane change. So definitely these make a difference, especially for the price that you pay for them. It's quite worth, I believe, the money. Another thing that you notice is the flange. The bolt flange is thicker. This one's actually probably about twice as thick. The bolt head, this part right here is smaller, but I think that's to accommodate the larger flange. I believe that makes a pretty big difference with the deformation of the bolt. The flange definitely is a thicker flange. It won't, deflect as much with the subframe, so it really does help to lock the subframe down a lot more. Also, it is not only just thicker, it is wider. I did a measurement. The STI version is actually 1.5 millimeters wider than the OEM version. So I guess when you have the subframe bolt installed, the bolt won't deform as much. The subframe won't be able to deform the bolt as much when it's moving, so it definitely locks it down a lot tighter. I did talk to a member of NASIOC. He owns a Type RA. He has a pretty big journal of all the stuff that he did. He actually replaced all 4 subframe bolts with the STI extended subframe bolts. I went in and talked to him about it, and he had, confirmed, I suppose with the vendor, that the S207 used 4 subframe bolts that were elongated. I just took his word, and I went ahead and also did the replace the back 2 subframe bolts. It seems to not. It seems okay. It didn't really. I don't think it really negatively affected the performance. I actually felt a little bit happier when I had it installed. I actually looked into the bolt hole, and it just, there's nothing that stops the bolt from going any further. It's just open space, basically, and the threading is the threading is about this wide, actually, just based on, my guesstimation. But I'm pretty sure having all 4 extended subframe bolts into the subframe is going to really lock it down a lot better, especially with the wider bolt and the wider and thicker flange. The elongated bolt as well. It definitely physically changes the characteristics of the movement of the subframe to a lot less, which is what I'm sure is wanted. So it helps with the steering for sure, and the control of the car. But that's pretty much it. All right, thanks guys. Talk to you later.